Okay, got to say Yellowstone is back, and wow, they really they just threw us right back in after that long break.
Yeah, no kidding. They jumped right into the fire with John Dutton's death, huh? The writers aren't messing around.
Right. It's like bam, and we're right back in it.
Exactly.
And how they did it. Classic Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
John Dutton, the tough, the patriarch, dead, suicide. Come
Yeah,
on.
right.
His kids, Beth and Kayce, they know better.
In an instant, you can just see they don't believe it.
That for a second.
And especially Beth. She's ready to go after Jamie.
Oh, man. Beth's reaction is amazing. Pure fury.
Yeah.
You can just tell she's already planning revenge.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like she's got it all figured out.
And the show is so good at giving us just enough to make us suspicious, too.
Oh, yeah.
The power's out at the mansion right before John dies, and then, oh, what do you know?
Convenient.
No security footage.
Yeah, like that's normal.
Makes you wonder.
Then we get that flashback 6 weeks before, and boom. It's like the writers dropped a bomb. Sarah Atwood, this corporate shark market equities center, and she's basically like playing chess with the Duttons.
Oh, she is cold and ambitious. Wants to just crush the Duttons and Jamie. He's her pawn.
It's scary how she uses him, plays on all his insecurities and promises him power.
Oh, yeah.
You almost feel bad for him.
Alma.
But then you remember he's the one who signed John's death warrant, basically.
Well, we don't know for sure if he knew John would actually be killed.
Right.
Sarah brings in this corporate death squad. That's what she calls them. Wow. These guys make it all look like suicide. It's chilling to see how far she'll go to get what she wants.
Yeah, and Jamie's reaction when John dies is, it's weird. It's not straightforward.
Definitely not.
He seems really shaken up.
Yeah.
Even cries a little. Makes you wonder about him.
Yeah. Is it real or is he faking it? That's what keeps us hooked.
Oh, sure.
Is there any good left in him?
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, everyone is reeling. Rip, he's down in Texas with the cattle.
Yeah.
And he just takes charge.
Like the leader he is.
Right. It's like a glimpse of what could be. Maybe he steps into John's boots.
Interesting thought.
So different from what's happening back in Montana.
Total chaos there.
While everyone else is falling apart, Rip is calm and in control.
Always has been.
And then you have Beth, ready to just burn everything down to get revenge.
Yeah, she's intense.
And Kayce, he's trying to figure out how to be the executor of the will and protect the ranch.
Lot on his shoulders.
He's more cautious, trying to figure it all out. It's such a contrast.
Is it going to be a problem you think they'll clash?
Maybe?
Or will they figure out how to work together?
Right. Who will be the new leader of the Duttons?
The daughter, the son, or maybe Rip?
And we can't forget about the Native Americans.
Oh, right.
That pipeline that's being built on their land is still a huge threat. And Mo and Chief Rainwater, they're losing hope that talking will solve anything.
They've been fighting for so long.
John's death changes things. Will the Duttons still be allies, or will they turn their backs on the tribes?
Good question.
So many questions. So much happening. It's like the writers threw a net over us, and we're all tangled up trying to figure out who to trust and what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and we don't have much time to figure it out.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's like a ticking time bomb and someone's about to light the fuse. But before we get to all that, let's go back to Jamie for a sec. Because his reaction to John dying, it's complicated.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. On one hand, he's celebrating with Sarah Atwood.
Right, like he's excited John's gone.
Exactly. He can finally be in charge. But then he has these moments where he seems really vulnerable.
Like when he breaks down crying.
Yeah, it's like he feels guilty or sad.
Makes him a really interesting character, right?
Okay.
He's not just some evil guy.
No.
It's broken. You can tell he wants to be loved and accepted, and it's all messed up. From years of rejection and Sarah manipulating him.
It makes you wonder, did he actually want John dead? Or did he believe, Sarah, that this was the only way to get out from under John's thumb?
Right. Like, was he tricked?
The writers are good. They keep us guessing about what Jamie's really thinking and if he can ever actually be a good guy.
Because Beth is not going to let this go.
Oh, no way.
She's like a dog with a bone.
Ah.
She's going to find out the truth, and she knows Jamie is capable of some dark stuff.
She's seen it firsthand.
Exactly. And speaking of things getting messy, John's death leaves a big hole.
Yeah.
Who's in charge now? That's the big question.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of wolves fighting for who's the new alpha.
Perfect way to put it.
You've got Beth ready to take on anyone who gets in her way.
Full revenge mode.
And then Kayce, he's now the executor and has to protect the ranch. It's a lot.
So different approaches. Beth is just pure emotion and instinct.
Yeah, like a wildfire.
Kayce is trying to be more careful, trying to honor John, but also deal with all the family drama and people like Sarah Atwood trying to take over.
It's like they represent the two sides of the ubis. John Beth is the fierce protector, and Kayce is the responsible one, the one who carried the weight of the family history.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And then we have Rip down in Texas.
Yeah. Seems like he's far away from all the drama.
But he's still a major player.
He's gotta be.
Going to Texas isn't just a trip for Rip. It's a chance for him to think about everything John taught him, about loyalty and duty and what it means to be a cowboy.
But it also shows us that the world is changing. The old ways are disappearing.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Like the cowboy life is being threatened. Not just by Sarah Atwood, but by the way the world is changing.
And those old spurs Rip gets from the craftsmen in Texas, it's
Yeah.
like a symbol of that.
Yeah, a reminder of what's being lost.
Exactly. And then there's the Native Americans still fighting for their land.
Right. The pipeline is still a huge problem.
Mo and Chief Rainwater, they're losing their patience. They know how companies like Market Equities operate. They're not going to just sit back and watch their home be destroyed.
So will the Duttons still help them? Or will they have to choose between their own survival and the rights of the people who have lived on that land for centuries?
Another good question.
And then there's Tate, who inherits the ranch.
Right. He's the future of the family.
But he's also stuck in the middle of this battle for land and power.
Will he be able to bridge the past and the future? Or will all the family baggage crush him?
It's like a Greek tragedy.
Kind of.
Betrayal, greed, love, loss, and this fight to survive.
But that's what makes Yellowstone so good. It's not just a cowboy show.
Right.
It's about things we're all worried about, how the world is changing, and how we hold on to the things we care about.
It stays with you after you watch it. You can't stop thinking about the characters and what's going to happen.
And the writers are so smart, they don't give us all the answers. They make us want more.
Definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, so much to unpack. We talked about who's going to be in charge, all the family drama, and Sarah Atwood lurking in the shadows. But it all comes down to this: can the Duttons survive without John?
Yeah, can they?
He was the glue that held everything together. For all his problems, he was the one who kept the family from falling apart.
For sure.
Now that he's gone, all those cracks are showing all the fights and jealousy.
Think of a bomb about to go off.
Exactly. Beth is ready to blow, and Jamie, who knows what he's going to do?
You could go either way.
And Sarah Atwood, she's not going to stop until she takes everything from the Duttons.
It makes you think, can their way of life even survive anymore?
Right.
They're up against some powerful forces.
Yeah.
You know, progress, the world changing. There's not a lot of room for cowboys and ranches these days.
Yeah, it's like the whole episode is about that.
Yeah.
The old ways versus the new. You see it with Rip in Texas, the Native Americans fighting for their land, even with the Duttons themselves.
And then there's Tate inheriting the ranch.
Yeah, what's going to happen to him?
He's the future, but he's also so vulnerable.
Is he going to be the one who brings everyone together? Or will he get lost in all the family drama?
Man, it's intense.
It's like Shakespeare, but with cowboys.
Totally. Betrayal, ambition, love, loss, this constant struggle.
And that's why Yellowstone is so good.
Definitely.
It makes you think about your own life, you know?
For sure.
What do we do when the world changes around us? How do we fight for what we believe in?
The writers are so good at making us ask those questions.
Yeah, they don't give us any easy answers.
And they leave us wanting more.
So we gotta wait and see what happens next.
The Duttons are tough, though.
Oh, yeah.
They'll fight for what's theirs.
They're not going down without a fight.
So that's Yellowstone, folks. The fight for the West continues. And it's a fight we can't look away from.
Definitely keeps you hooked.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time.